doing? All right. So, hey, you guys, I am streaming from two areas. I am streaming on TradingView and I am streaming on Instagram. And so, I thank you all for joining me today. I'm so excited for today's conversation. It's going to be amazing. So, welcome, my trading besties. Today's conversation or topic is more going to be a conversational piece between you and I. And I'm excited because I like to help you guys make your trading technique work. Now, this is something that a lot of coaches or mentors or gurus won't do. And I want to start to take a personal hand at this with a lot of traders. There's no limit to what you can trade, but there is a limit to what you should do and how you should do it. And once you guys find that limit, your trading will become better. And we in the business where we call this, you work smarter but you don't work harder. So that is very important. So before we begin, you guys, my name is Shaquan. I am your trading educator here at SLFX Trading. That is my brand. And I'm going to first highlight, some major challenges that traders that you as a trader may be having, so you can better understand what may be holding you back as a trader, and so you can understand your trading technique better. And I think that's going to be really important, you guys. So as I'm teaching you, your engagement today, you guys, is very important. So be sure to save the live and be sure to leave any questions that you guys may have. So as I am teaching and as we're going through this, I can answer you guys questions throughout. Okay, so let's get started with what a forex technique is. Okay, your forex technique, and I had to look up the word technique, by the way, because I love dictionary.com and I love looking at the thesaurus. And I love finding new ways to use my words. It just makes it better when I can speak things in my own language. So a technique is a way of implementing your skill or the ability to apply methods to receive a desired result. And here in trading, our desired result is money, right? That's one of our desired results. Another desired result is that we make money so we can maybe leave our jobs. We make money so we can spend more time with the family. We make money so we can have more time to ourselves, or whatever the case may be, right? But I want to start here with you guys before I allow some of you guys to join me. And if you request to join me, I'm going to let you guys in pretty soon. But I like to have a conversation piece first. So let's do some engagement pieces here. And I want you guys to really think about what it is that you're doing, okay? What are you learning, or what's the technique you're learning, and what is the culture within the atmosphere of the group, okay? Or whatever you're learning. Are you learning through a group? Are you learning through YouTube? Are you learning through a course? Or do you have a mentor? And I want you guys to really sit down and write this information down and really, get into the habit of speaking this stuff out loud, writing things out, and really thinking for yourself here, because the think for yourself part is going to be very important. Okay, so where are you guys learning from? Now you can comment that down below, or you can write it out as we go. Now, if you're learning from someone else, i.e. a course, a mentor, a coach, right? Whatever we call ourselves, or whatever you call the person, do you know their beliefs in trading or their personal beliefs? Do you know their attitude towards trading? What is their teaching atmosphere like, and what are their organizational rules and policies? Because teaching forex is still a business. There's a teaching side to forex as well. The reason why I'm asking this is what you do, and it's an odd question, but what you do with them rubs off on you, and you decide if you like it or not. You decide if it resonates with you or not. And this is very important. Okay, so number one, you guys, as you're learning the strategy, and I really want to ask you guys this, okay? As you're learning the strategy, can you do this with the person you're learning from, the course, mentor, whoever? Can you guys ask questions for clarification? That's going to be a yes or a no. Can you ask questions for clarification? Let's say you're going through YouTube. You can go through YouTube and you can watch as many videos as you want, and you can leave responses and you can ask a question, but that person on YouTube cannot talk back to you, right? You can be learning through a course, and if it's a self-paced course, maybe you can hit the person up who made the course, or maybe you can't. Maybe the course is just made for you. Once you purchase it, you got it, you bought it, but you don't have access to the person. Or maybe you do have access to a person, and are you asking them the right questions? Or are they leading you to another video, or are they answering your questions so that you can excel and advance forward, right? And but the key thing about this is, can you ask a question? And if you can't, why can't you ask the question? And is that good or bad to you? A technique don't work without the foundation or without the person who taught the technique. So I want you guys to remember that too. And if you're self-teaching yourself, well, we're going to get into that as well. Okay. Now, do you also have support trading? And what I mean is, let's say you're in a group. Is everyone trading the same technique, or is everyone doing their own thing? And who is the authoritative figure within what you're doing and then with what you're learning? That's very important as well. And is that a deal breaker to you, or is that not a deal breaker? Because we need community as we learn. We have to have that community. We have to have someone to help hold us accountable. We have to have the person who we can bounce things off of, right? Like, I can go to someone, I'm still going to have what I believe to be true to me, but I don't want to speak to myself all the time, right? We need fellowship. We need communications. We need connections. And the main thing about a technique when you're learning, especially if you're learning someone, is, are you giving guidance before and after each trade that you've taken until you can successfully do it on your own? Who's there to guide you before you take the trade? Who's there to guide you after you take the trade? Do you feel you have the guidance that you need? That is going to be very important as well. Now, to answer these questions, you guys, excuse me, it means that you're analyzing who's helping you, and do you trust them to continue to help you if you're learning someone else's technique, okay? Because the moment you cannot find the person to help you, the moment you don't trust them to help you, you're basically on your own. And you have to ask yourself if that is what you want or not. Now, there are challenges in this industry. There are a lot of challenges in this industry, and I want you to seek which challenge you're having. So, challenge number one, maybe you're learning a strategy, but you have no idea how to make it work. That's the challenge. You're learning something, but you're stuck somewhere, right? You're trying to see what's, you don't know what's, how, you don't know how to know if it's wrong or not. You don't know when to not trade the technique, which means you have no real plans as far as what is going on your price chart. Like, you're going through phases, you're going through cycles, as far as you're either making profits and losing your profits, or you're making profits but then you blow the account, or you're just straight up losing money, or you're blowing accounts. And you have to ask yourself, which one are you at in the cycle of your trading? Where are you on your journey? Because if you don't know your starting point, you don't know the who, you don't know the what, you don't know the when, you don't know the why you should execute the trade, because there's no connection between you and the technique that you're trading. You're just stuck on how to make it work. The plug is not fitting in the socket, you guys. So that's pretty much what's going on. Or you can be in challenge. You can have this second challenge where you have too many ears and not one mouth. This one's going to get a little bit deep, okay? You have too many ears and not one mouth, meaning you're listening to too many people's opinions and not that one authoritative figure, not that one to help you get from point A to point B. You're not listening to that person. And that's why I asked, are you in a group where everyone is doing their own thing? Because now you're trying to cycle off of what this person is doing, and how did they make this trade work, and how did they do this, and how did they do that? And you can't close off the noise. You're so busy focusing on everyone else that you don't have the person to step in and say, silence yourself. Just stop. Just stop. And now you're sitting here trying to figure it out, but by the time it's you're trying to figure it out, it's too late. You have too many voices in your ear and it's not your own. So now you look like everybody else and not yourself, right? Now, one thing that I do is, when people want help from me, I immediately ask them, is someone already helping you? The reason I'm doing that is because I don't like to step on people's toes. Number one, I also cannot debunk someone's technique that I did not create. But also at the same time, I need to know if you went to that person for help first as well. I got to know. I don't want to contradict what they're saying, because it could work for you. I just need to know if you're implementing. I just need to know if you tried everything before you came to me as a coach. And that is very important. and you want to do the same thing. You don't want too many opinions on what you should be doing. You need one authoritative figure, and you need to implement the solution. Okay, that part is very important. But here's also the thing. When you go to someone for help, and especially if you're listening to too many people, you have to first be willing to unlearn what someone taught you to relearn. And that part is very important as well. Or you may be having this third challenge where you're just afraid to do it alone, right? Here's what I mean, especially with people who come from groups or who trade with groups. If someone is always talking to you, when do you ever have time to work on yourself? If someone is always showing you a chart, if someone is always giving you something, it's easy for you not to speak up for yourself. So if something goes haywire, if something goes left, it's easy for you to place blame and say, it wasn't me, it was you. But it's your money. You're learning how to trade your own money, not someone else's, right? So you can't be afraid to do it alone. So who stifled you? Have you stifled yourself? Has someone sold Forex so good that they've stifled you? Take this signal, take this trade. Here's a chart. Here's my strategy. Here's this technique. You have to be afraid. You can't be afraid to branch out. Okay. So if you're having any of these challenges, you guys, here's how you're going to overcome it. Number one, you're going to put yourself in the expert position as quick as possible to know how you're going to respond to your technique. Okay. One thing that I love doing when I personally teach people, I put them in the driver's seat and they have to implement immediately after I teach them. You cannot just sit and listen to me. You cannot just sit and just keep getting information. You have to take action to know how you're going to respond to what's going on. You have to speak back. I have to speak to you. You have to show me that you're retaining the information, not just sitting here listening to the information. So you have to be put in the driver's seat as quick as possible. The second thing that you have to do is pick apart for you what's working and what's not working to get to the heart of the technique. What is not resonating with you? What are you stuck on? What language barrier can't you break, right? Or what have you heard that's working? What have you heard that's a strength? And what can we continue to play on to help make you money, right? That's where it has to boil down to, right? So it's two of those that you can do to help you now. I want to personally help you right now. So I'm going to pick a few of you to come live with me on Instagram so we can chat. So on TradingView and YouTube, I'm on Instagram. I'm going to allow some people in. My Instagram handle is at the Shaquan Lopez. Okay. So if you would like to go live with me and I help you like right now as we speak, okay, request to go live with me. But there are two rules that I have. Number one, you need a quiet background. Okay. Because I want to be able to hear you. Other people want to be able to hear you. And then number two, you have to engage and respond only when I ask questions. I like back and forth dialogue, but I want to be able to hear everyone. Okay, so I'm going to see if any of you request to go live, and this is the time when you want to. Okay, so that is how this works. You have to request to go live. Is there anyone who wants to go live with me on here? So let's see if we can get it today. Anyone want to request to go live? If not, I'm just going to sit here and read the comments, okay? We'll put my coffee down, but that ain't going to work. Big O says, I'm self-teaching and my wife is my mentor and I ask questions before trading. Okay, there we go. Okay, what's up, Big O? Big O, you just request to go live every time. I love it. I brought you in. But that ain't gonna work. Grand Rising. Hey, what's up, King? How you doing?
Oh, fantastically marvelous. How about everyone else and yourself?
Doing very well this morning. So I'm in a good mood. I'm in a very, very good mood. All right. So anyone else besides Brother O wants to go live? I'll allow 1 to 2 more people to go live with me on Instagram. You guys do not fit. Oh, let me say this too, because I think this is what happens, Brother O. Watch this. A lot of times, some of you may feel you don't know enough. I don't care what you know. You may feel like you knew. I don't care if you feel like you're new. That's not anyone else's business. What's important is that you come on, you ask the right questions to get the right answers so you can take the right actions. Because if you don't, you could continue to stay stuck. So while someone is helping you, grab that help. Do not be afraid to sound stupid, because there's no stupid person in the world to me. Do not be, especially in the trading arena, do not be afraid to not know an answer, because I don't know can lead to an answer as well. So, hey, what's up, Water Breeze Life? So, one more. Is there anyone else who would like to go live with Brother Owen now? If not, you guys are going to just get to listen to a great conversation right now. Okay. All right. So, since no one else is doing it, Brother O, let's go ahead and let's get to it. Okay. So, for the audience out there, what's your name and how long have you been trading for?
Okay, my name is Brother O, and I have been trading for exactly 11 months.
Okay. What's your journey been like for the last 11 months? Like, how did you hear about Forex? What got you excited about Forex? And why are you still trading Forex?
Okay. You asked me a bunch at once. All right. The first thing, I had a young man who I didn't even meet him, my cousin, told me about Forex. He said, man, this guy came to my barbershop saying you can make money on the phone and you can be financially free. I said, what? Call him.
Got you.
So he called and we talked and I joined I Am Academy.
Okay.
Never met the young man in person. Joined I Am Academy, learned everything. They could always send you to videos. So I learned all videos. Took so many notes, my notes started repeating themselves. I wound up liking to trade gold. And I was making so much money off of gold. Good Lord. One time I made a trade on gold and made 1,100 in 10 minutes on a breakout. So after that, and then that was all in August. Here comes September, October, November, December, January, February. Ooh, I lost so much money in those times. I learned so many lessons.
Yeah.
No mentor.
Yeah.
Group I was in, separated. I stopped trading. I stopped giving my money to I Am Academy. And been on my own ever since. So me knowing I'm a genius, I said, I'm going to get this. I'm going to be financially free. I'm going to generate generational wealth for my family and myself. I will not have to retire. I will not work for no one else. I'm done. So this is my journey, and my ultimate goal is do what you're doing, except mine might not be as good as yours, but it may be better. You never know. Yeah. But my ultimate goal is to teach others like you're doing.
Right. And we've had that conversation. So let's chat here. You said you lost money, right? You made it in August, but from the time you made it to now, have you had, sorry guys, I got people calling me. Oh. Sorry, y'all, I got people calling me on my phone. I should have put my phone on Do Not Disturb. You guys, I'm so sorry. I already know it's my cousin aggravating me. Okay, so from the time that you made that money in August to now, have you been able to recoup those funds or put yourself in a better position?
I put myself in a better position, but I'm not worried about recouping them funds.
Got you. So are you on a track to just learning right now?
I'm learning and applying.
Got you. So let me ask you.
And they're working.
So let me ask you this question: like, what is the technique you're currently learning now, and what have been your results with the technique?
The technique I'm learning now is not one that we use. I'm using patience. That's the one thing. Okay. I've learned how to trade with Fibonacci's indicator.
Okay.
Gartleys. I learned all things. I know how to use all. I can mark a chart up way better than these educators out here.
Got you.
My problem was getting into the market. That was my problem.
Got you.
And so, patience.
Got you.
You seen the thing earlier today. That patience from listening to you. Hey, y'all. From listening to Queen Shaquan, I was able to develop some patience with myself and my trading from last night. I just waited.
Yeah.
And waited. I waited and waited. I said, I'm going in as a buyer.
Yeah.
On gold and SPX.
Yeah.
Going last night, that chart opened up and it started going up. Look, it was on a downtrend. And I seen that it started going up on a daily time frame. I jumped right in at 31.45. And if we can look at our chart on SPX, I'm going to let you know where it's at right now.
Before we do that, because some people may not be on gold, some people may not be on SPX, some people may not even know what SPX is, right?
Okay.
Right. So let me ask you this: patience is great, but patience is a characteristic of our trading style, right? All of us need patience in this game, whether you're trading, whether you're investing, no matter what the case may be, right? But and let me ask it a certain way. Okay. How do you feel about what you're trading? Because you said you learned so many things, but what are you focused on now? And is it working for you consistently? Or are you happy because it's just these trades where the breakthrough has come in because now you've learned patience?
Well, I've learned what I'm doing now is just applying everything that I know.
Okay.
I'm not reinventing no wheels.
Mm-hmm.
I've been off all those indicators on my chart. I don't use indicators. The only one I use is the RSI. But other than that, I don't use no other indicators. I'm reading my book again, the Naked Trading book. I'm reading.
That's a good book.
The other thing I have to institute, since I only did that one trade, I can write it down. My journal. I have a stuff journal.
Got you. And
proper risk management either. And now I've learned how to use proper risk management as well, which is really, really helping me out.
Let's get into that, right? You said let's get into those two things. You said that you have a journal, which is very good, and that you're using proper risk management. When you journal your trades, what do you put in your journal before you take the trade? Like, what signals a good buy or sell entry for you?
Momentum in the market.
Break that down, because some people may not know. What's the momentum?
All right, like for instance, yesterday I was looking at, matter of fact, last week I was watching gold and SPX 500, which is an index, and I noticed how the trend was real strong going down last week. I don't know, was it the summit? I don't know what it was, but I noticed that trend was hard going down. I said they're gonna lose momentum. Next week, this ain't gonna go back up. I know it's gonna go back up, and that's what I thought. And I stuck with it. I trusted my own trade. I said, why are you going to go in for a buy? I said, because momentum stopped.
Okay, well, let's break that down some more, because this is a part of how to make sure you understand your technique. What told you, because it can't be you, it has to be something on that chart. What told you that that the momentum would stop and go the opposite direction?
The candle. The candle stole.
Okay, what specifically did the candles tell you? I want you to go deeper. I want you to go deeper. Go deeper. Go deeper. Go deeper.
All right, let me put my scooter on.
But see, this is a part of connection. This is a part of speaking as a trader. You have to have that dialogue, because you want to teach. Yeah, you want to teach. You can't teach what you can't speak. You can see it, but only you could see it. But how do you verbally give that to someone else?
Okay.
You see what I mean?
What I did first was, before I entered your last night, I put it on my monthly time frame.
Got you. There we go. Let's break it down.
8 line charts. I put on the line chart and didn't keep it on the candle. That's what I did. As I'm talking, I'm looking at my my screen on my.
But see, let's pause for a second. Don't think about the individual trades that you're in right now. It's not about an individual trade. What's your technique? What is the A to B? Let me ask you this a different way. From the time you analyze your charts, maybe it's on the weekend or whatever, Monday morning, whatever, to the time you start taking trades, give me the visualization. Give us the visualization. What is it? When do you start trading? What are the time or analyzing your charts before you plan to take a trade? What are you journaling? What are the time frames you're using? What do you do on each time frame? How are you plotting? What do you look at first? And then what tells you when to enter the trade, where to enter the trade, where to exit the trade? How are you journaling that? Because that's the heart.
I ask myself questions, and I write the questions down. I have a list that I'm not in my room, because my list is on my wall in my room, of questions I have. And it's also questions that my mentor, aka White, asks. I'm down before I enter why you enter this trade. First, let me go back. First, I'll do a monthly. I'll do say it correctly. Down. I go from the monthly time frame on down.
What do you do when you're going down? What's the purpose?
You broke up.
Sorry, what are you doing on the monthly? What's the purpose of each time frame as you go down?
I'm looking for zones with reactions that's taking place.
Okay.
That's what you look for, the big reactions that take place. And once I see that the reactions take place on a big zone, on a monthly time frame, I drop down to the weekly to see how it took place on a weekly. Then I drop down. I'll drop all the way down to like the 4 hour. Because I was going all the way down to the 5:15. I was going all the way down, but you stopped me.
Okay.
Just listening, because one of my greatest skills is listening. So you stopped me. You say you only go to the daily, but I went down to the 4 because I'm not comfortable yet at the daily. But I'm getting there. So when I get to the 4 hour, I make sure that the momentum is going the same direction that the monthly is, and I wait until it hits that zone. When it hits the zone, then I look for the buy if I'm looking at it as a buyer, or if it's going for a sell, I look for the sell if it's going in as a sell.
Okay.
And once I see it going in that way, then I jump, then I get in. My problem in the past has been my stop loss has been too close. It's also been that I've been getting in my trades too early, or I'm getting them too late.
You say that was the past. Are you not just these two positions, because two positions are not telling enough? Since doing this and learning the patience and going to higher time frames, have you back tested? Because you said that you realized your stop loss was too close. Have you back tested any of what you're talking about right now to find the results of how it works?
Yes.
Okay. So
and that was one thing I had to implement.
Yeah.
So that I could stop having these tight stop losses.
Right.
And always, and it wound up going back in a direction that I want to go in. There's been times in the past where my stop loss be so close, I'll say, all right, hit my stop loss, but it's still going up. I'll go back in again, and it'll hit my stop loss again. Then I'll go back in again, and it'll hit it again, because I wasn't being patient.
But I wasn't
using no.
And it's a little bit more to that, because I want to hit on something that you said, and I want you guys to hear what I'm about to ask. Okay, you said that you start at the monthly, and then you go down to the weekly, and then the daily, and then the 4 hour, because you want to see if everything is going in the same direction. Did I hear that correct? What is your mindset on trend? Because that's the one thing you've not mentioned yet. You mentioned that you go to the monthly, you're on the line chart, you're setting your zones, which I'm assuming you set them by the valley peaks of the line chart, right? So that kind of lets me know you may be using support and resistance, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're setting the support and resistance first. Now let's go into this. What is support and resistance to you?
Ceilings and floors.
Go deeper. What are ceilings and floors?
Okay. Well, support is the bottom. Say, for instance, a foundation of which way the market is going to go down. And if it's going down and it hits that zone, I can't say a particular line because it doesn't really hit a line, it hits a zone. If it hits that zone and don't go past it going down, then that's what you call support. Or it could be called resistance as well. And then when it's going up and it hits a certain zone and it don't go past that zone, that could be a resistance.
Okay.
And so I'm waiting. If it's bouncing around in there and it's called consolidation, I don't get into the trade. I'll wait until it breaks out one of the other.
Okay. So go deeper, because you called it a ceiling, a floor, then you called it a support, then you called it a zone. What does the zone represent?
The zone represents where a lot of money is just being sitting there right now. All the money in these zones, they put buy limits and sell limits, buy stops, sell stops in zones. They call some of them called conviction zones.
Okay.
And they'll put money there, and that's when they start consolidating. And once they break out of those zones, no matter if it be for the buy bearish or be for the seller, that's what I wait to get in for. But now, just now, I started saying before I get in the market what I'm going to be. Okay. Beforehand, I'm saying I'm going in as a buyer. Okay. I'm going in as a seller. Beforehand, I was just going in. I didn't have no direction at all. Okay. So now I got direction, and now I wait and say, all right, I'm gonna wait as a buyer. If I'm going as a buyer, if I see a trade that looks like it's gonna be a buy, and I want to say, for instance, it kept hitting the resistance and then come down and hit the support, which is down the bottom. and wouldn't pass that support, I could put a buy limit there and say, all right, when they hit here, I'm going in for the buy. When they hit that support down there, I'm going in for the buy. If it hasn't broken.
Okay, so let's break this up and let's connect it. Okay, a part of understanding your trading technique, I want everyone to hear me well. Y'all see how I asked him to go deeper? Everyone understand why I asked that question. If I'm a new person and you're speaking to me about Forex, just like how that gentleman went in the barbershop and you heard about Forex, but you had to give him a phone call, all you heard was money. You didn't hear how to make it, right? He got you in with money. All right. Now you got to go figure out how he made the money. But like you said, all you did was watch videos. So maybe that wasn't your learning style, which is why you're here alone now. There was no connection, right? So now I'm asking you, take what was applied, because someone didn't give you the exact information to break it down yourself, to connect and understand what a support and resistance is. It's not a ceiling and a floor. Someone didn't make it personal to you. So you have to be able to break it down in a language that you can speak it back to an actual person. That's what jobs do. That's what 9-to-5s do. They say you have a customer. A customer is a person, right? So now let me connect it with support and resistance. Support and resistance is this. You have buyers and you have sellers, and you're buying based on, it's 2 words. I want to see what you guys say. How do you know at what price, because it's 2 words, at what price point to buy or sell a currency pair? What is that price point called? Because that's where you're placing your zones. Does anyone know what that price point is called? Exchange rate. It's an exchange rate.
Exchange rate. Okay.
Okay. It's an exchange rate. So when you say that, well, price had an issue breaking or is pushing off of something or it's consolidating, does price always consolidate, Brother O?
Not always.
No. And we don't know that it's going to consolidate, right? Does price always have an issue breaking resistance? No. Does it always have an issue breaking support?
No.
No. Which means you put the barrier there. You put it there. Which means you told the market at this price point, at this exchange rate, I want to become the seller at resistance because I believe this is where the buyers will stop buying and the sellers will now push price down from this exchange rate. You see where I'm going? And you're saying that support is where the sellers will stop selling at this exchange rate. And this is where they will make price go back up. So the sellers will come into the market at this exchange rate. Now, I didn't hear this part with your trend. And I'm going to ask you this. Are you buying and selling based on levels or who's actually in control?
I buy on who's actually in control.
How do you know who's in control if you don't know the trend? You never told me direction.
I follow the trend. I usually trade with the trend.
But how do you know if how do you know if all you have is levels?
Repeat that one more time, please.
How do you know if all you see is levels? It's price levels. Let me ask it. Okay, so at what point during your journaling, at what point during your analysis, your technical analysis, do you observe trend? Because you told me you plot your levels first.
I left all that out. That's probably why. And you're a good listener. I like that.
Thank you. I listen to everything. You can tell me 100 things. 10 people can tell me 100 things. I will remember about each person because that's a part of being a coach. I'm going to repeat to you everything that you told me, everything that you recited to me. I have to hear it. And I have to hear the missing pieces to connect the information to teach you. This is what makes what we do different from courses. When you actually sit and listen to a person, this is why I love teaching one-on-one and personal, intimate groups. Because I get to hear you and what's missing so I can teach it to you. You see where I'm going? Because once again, you can't leave anything out with a good coach. You cannot. Because we're going to ask you, at what point do you do this? Because if you missed it with me, you're not doing it. That's how I see it. Yeah. So I'm going to ask it again. At what point do you look at who has control, such as trend, your highs, your lows, higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, or do you not know how to connect that piece with support and resistance?
Well, as soon as I look at the market, I can tell which way the trend going, especially when I go to the higher time frame. That's why I go to the higher time frame to follow the trend. The higher time frame is where the big money, the banks usually the market. So I go to the higher time frame. That's where I see where the trend is at.
Okay. And
the month, and I do top-down analysis.
And I will agree with you.
So that I look for first a trend. Then I start looking at and see what happened with the movements of the peaks and everything. And then I start going down the lower time frames to see if there was reactions at the same spot.
Got you.
And then I make up my mind. I'm going in as a buyer, so I will wait until it gets to the point where I feel as though the buyers is going to take control, and then I get in.
Okay.
With support resistance, then I use the Fibonacci as well to help me on my take profits.
Okay, so what's the priority? Mr. Anthony just asked it. He know how I think. He's one of my students, y'all. Great guy. He's one of my students. He has the same journey as you, believe it or not. Same journey as you. Now he dominates. So now I'm gonna ask the question again, but a different way. When you go to the monthly and you drop down in time frames and you're looking at all of those fluctuations, how do you can't just see trend. You have to follow trend. How do you follow trend on that price chart? What are you plotting besides support and resistance? And here's why I'm asking. What happens if price is in a downtrend? It bounces off of support, but it never goes to your resistance. What happens if price is... Okay.
I don't wait or I don't enter. One of the two.
Okay.
Wait or don't enter.
What happens if price breaks your support? Breaks your support, right? Which means it's maybe headed back down to support, doesn't get there, goes back up, passes your support, lingers, doesn't go back up to resistance, goes back down to support, breaks it and goes to the next support. How do you deal with those fluctuations within that area?
I don't. Okay. I'll wait. I'll just wait and wait and wait, or go to another pair. Look for a better opportunity.
Okay.
I don't allow myself no more to force a trade. Okay. I let the market come to me. I don't go to the market no more.
And I like that. Do you think you could be missing, and this is for any technique as well, do you think you could be missing opportunities? Oh, before I answer that, because you say you follow the trend. This is where the trend comes in. This is why I'm saying this. Okay. I wish I had a visualization. This is your line. Okay. And let's say this is your support. It breaks support, does not go back down to the support, pushes up, breaks it again, and it starts to cycle in a fluctuation down. Are you following those fluctuations, or are you still just focused on support and resistance? It has to hit this level so you can take action, so it can go back to this level, then it has to hit that level so you can take action.
Well, what I do is, on those types of things, I look at the higher highs, higher lows, lower highs. I look at them, and that's what helps me actually know which way the trend is going. No matter if I'm on a higher time frame or not, I make sure they make a higher highs before I say that's an uptrend. Or I'll look at lower lows to see if it's a downtrend, because the market is not always move straight up, and it doesn't always move straight down.
Agreed.
It will go up, down, no matter if it's going to take stairs or taking stairs to go up or taking stairs to go down. I always take stairs.
Agreed.
So I at my lower lows, higher highs, higher lows, I do look at that as well.
Okay.
I may not, but then again, I do mark them up because those are my support and resistance too.
Now let's tap on that. This is I want to hear it. I want to see a visual. Yeah, I hope everyone sees what I'm doing. I'm making you talk it out. I'm making you understand what you're doing without being on your chart. You don't have to be on your chart to see it. I see what you're doing. It's the visualization. It's speaking it out loud. It's hearing the weakness. It's hearing the strength of your technique, because this is what you put in a trading plan. This is what goes in a trading plan. This is how you write it down. What you do on that chart has to be written. It's biblical. It's biblical. You see where I'm going? So now, what do you do with the highs and the lows if you mark them up? Do you leave them alone and say they're just telling me direction? Because here's the thing. Your lower lows, your higher highs and higher lows are not support and resistance. They're trend. It's a person. It's the transactions. You see where I'm going? So you have to separate the two. Remember the last class I did, what is more important, trend first or market structure? Right?
Right, I remember.
You see where I'm going? And this is why I asked what comes first. Mr. Anthony asked it best. What's the priority? Because I teach them priority trading. What's priority? Your trend or your levels? You first told me levels, but in our last class, you told me trend. Once I broke it down to you, you see where I'm going? So at what point do you do the first step first, second step first? When you go from the monthly, and watch this, if you go from the monthly, because I get this question all the time. Someone can say, well, the monthly is going down, but the weekly is going up, but the daily is going down. Does that ever confuse you when you're using support and resistance? Okay, do you agree? Could you agree? And this is for anyone here, that price does the same thing on every time frame. Could you agree?
No, it don't do the same thing on every time frame.
Now break that down to me. Why you say that?
Because you just mentioned it. It could be going down on a monthly, on a weekly, it could be going up, on daily, it could be going down. That's because there's more candles involved when you go from one time frame to another.
Okay. Now I asked the question, said, could it be? I didn't say it's definite. I didn't say definitive. Now watch how I'm about to break this down.
Go ahead.
You're a person, right? If I cracked you open and looked inside of you, does anything about you change from inside out? Because when I remove layers, it's still a part of you, right? I'm just going deeper. If I put you back together, don't you come back as the same person?
Yes.
So how could the time frames be doing anything different?
Good one.
See, when you look, watch how I'm about to break this down. This is about multiple time frame analysis. Now, I'm on a monthly time frame. It's one big candle. When I break that candle down, it took 4 weekly candles to make that one monthly candle. When I break the weekly down, it took 21 to 22 daily time frame candles to break break the 4 weekly candles down. When I break that 1 weekly candle down, it took 5 daily candles to make 1 weekly candle. When I break down the daily candle, it took 6 4-hour candles. When I break down the 4-hour candles, it took 24 1-hour candles. When I break down each 1-hour candle, it took 24 5-minute candles. How is it that they're doing something different? It's impossible. It's impossible. You see where I'm going? So now watch this. You told me you go to the monthly. Do you have a good understanding of price action alone?
No.
So you got to get that under control first. You told me that you used to have an issue with entering trades too early. You used to have an issue with entry trades too late. Then you're going to higher time frames, and you're now realizing you don't need as many time frames, which is really, really good, right? Now you're plotting your support and resistance, but you need a better understanding of what price is actually doing. That's your trend first, right? So if we took away everything on that price chart without support and resistance, you have to understand what's going on to understand where you want to be the buyer and where you want to be the seller. Once you establish, because watch this, here's the connection part again. You mentioned gold and you mentioned SPX. Gold is not a Forex pair. It's a metal. SPX is one for stocks. It's an indice. It's the health of the stock market, right? So now you connect with those things. And if anyone knows anything about SPX, when you enter, you're entering in per ticks, not pips. So now you're connecting with the lingo of that market, right? Then you're understanding if I trade this 10 cents, it's actually equal to $1. So that's a more high risk indice to trade. You see where I'm going?
Yes.
So once again, it's about connection, right? If I go to a beach, I'm gonna name the beach. I'm not just gonna say I'm at a beach, right? Price flows like water. It flows. When you put the barriers on your chart, the support and resistance, you, my friend, are saying, once I establish who's in control, once I establish what I'm trading, once I make that connection, I deem it necessary to trade here with support and resistance. I believe because of the downtrend, when price gets to support, that these are the sellers who have stopped price. It's at support. The buyers are going to come into the market and they're going to make price pull back. But price is in a downtrend. So when price gets to resistance at this exchange rate, I'm hoping it can stay below the last lower high or my previous resistance level. I don't want price to get there. So when price stops at this resistance level, I'm hoping the sellers will continue to come back in the market so I can continue to sell. And I'm going to sell back down to my support where the last fluctuation of buyers came into the market. Or watch how I'm about to bless you. If your support is the last lower low and you believe price is in a downtrend, hold past that support level because price is meant to break it. Don't ever say price can't break a level. That's not true. Don't ever say it struggles. Price doesn't struggle to do anything. Price gonna move how it's gonna move because we're the people moving it. Transactions, fundamentals. It takes people. It's a barter. It's an exchange rate. Because guess what's happening with your exchange rates? You mentioned the bank. You mentioned the monthly. I agree. That's what the big boys are. I like big boys. You see what I mean? I like being with them. I want to be in the boardroom, right? They're making the big decisions. So when you see what they're actually doing and you understand the exchange rates, people buy physical currency because that's what we're trading. But we're doing it in a decentralized location, which means we're doing it online. There's no physical location we have to go to. So what this means is, okay, well, since it's decentralized and I'm not at an actual location and people actually buy money, central banks set what's called a conversion rate daily. So when people come in to buy currencies, they're exchanging the quote currency, which is the second currency of a pair, for the base currency, which is the first currency. Because somebody has to buy the money. A few people mentioned supply and demand earlier in the comment section, and I want to tackle this really quick. Everyone here trades supply and demand, whether you know it, and supply and demand is different than support and resistance, right? Supply and demand is your trend. Supply and demand is your actual trend, okay? So when we talk about the buyers and sellers, and the actual currency pair or your indice or whatever, that's the supply, right? Watch how we got to make it personal again. It's about connection. When I look at pound USD, or for you, when you looked at gold, or when you looked at SPX, right? How many people saw value in the SPX that they rose it up, that price rose up? How many people believed in gold that price rose up? You're buying based on how many people want the currency, or I'm sorry, the gold, the supply, the inventory to go up because they believe in the value. But when they don't believe in the value, they're going to sell it off to make it cheaper for you. Okay? This is how we learn to understand what we're trading. It's by conversation first. You heard about it first. Then someone said, yo, join this academy, and you joined the academy. Right? And you even said you watched all the videos. Now, I don't know if you ever attended a session that they do. I don't know if you ever spoke to anyone personally. I'm not sure. But obviously, someone didn't connect with you. They didn't make it plain. No, right. You said no one talked to you. No one connected with you. No one made it personal so you can understand it. Right? We're going to do it together. We're going to do it together. And this is how we're able to break it down. I don't have to see your price chart to see what you're doing. I don't. You're going to tell me everything I need to know. And I'm just going to regurgitate it to you, but add value. Okay? So. Yeah, you did that. Yeah. You've done that. Thank you. Yeah. Help is not always on a price chart. I tell my students all the time, sometimes we just need to have a conversation. Sometimes we just need to talk it out. If you don't mind. Mm-hmm. The reason I jump with the live like I do, because I am very hungry for knowledge. Yeah. When the said that you can learn, he said learn, and that's what got me how to make money. You can learn a new skill on how to make money. I said, well, that's what I want to do. I'm tired of going to jobs and learning how to work and make them money. Yeah. I'm going to make myself money and teach others how as well, but I can't teach nothing unless I learn it. Right. So I'm looking forward to teaching no time soon. But I'm still learning. I could get my PhD right now. I'm only at an associate's. Right. So I'm looking forward to learning more and more. That's why I hop on with you. Yes, sir. Because your technique, your talking, the way you talk is like so
down to earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So clear. It's like I don't have to say that. What the hell was she talking about? There's nothing out there. I don't have to go look for no answers when I'm listening to you. So that's why I jump in when you say, anybody want to join? Yeah, damn right, because I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And I don't plan on being hungry the rest of my life.
There you go. And I don't want to beat you down. I want to encourage you. I want to motivate you, and I want to give you what you need. I didn't ask you to come here with a full-blown technique. I can give you that. I didn't ask you to be the smartest person in the room. I didn't. I just said I just want to speak to you so we can speak it in the way you understand it. I just have to break this down for you. I have to break down your mental first, right? Yes. That's all we have to do. That's it. I want you to get it for yourself, because when I get off of here with you, you have to be okay. And I want to hit on one more thing with you, and this is for everyone. It's about risk management. You mentioned it. You blew an account, and you said that you came back and you've not made up the money, but you're learning lessons, right? And that's important. And that's why I asked about back testing, because when it comes to back testing, and I tell people this, there's a psychology difference. Back testing is meant to show you the results that you can gain without needing money to do something, right? Demo or live trading says, let me put what I've back tested, because these are the results that I've gotten from learning this and implementing it, finding my strengths, finding my weaknesses. Now let me put it to the test to see if I can make money. But here's the gotcha. You have to keep trading the same technique over and over. That's why I said I don't care about the 2 trades you just took. I don't mean it by any offense. I want you to take more trades using what you did. You see what I'm going?
Those are the only 2 I've done so far.
Yeah.
Since I've retrained my brain. Mm-hmm. As a boxer, say for instance, somebody taught me how to box. For those that been in the ring, if you hold your hand down like this, you can get punched in the face. Mm-hmm. And a trainer I had me holding my hands like this. Now I got a new trainer.
Higher.
I'm not getting punched more.
Yeah.
You see?
You can guard it faster.
I learned how to block better. I learned how to throw a better jab.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing I've learned, knowing self, we have to study self.
Mm-hmm.
We can't study somebody else and get great.
Right.
We have to study self, and sometimes we can't do it by ourselves. We need a coach, a mentor, somebody to help us lift that hand up, so we won't be such an easy target.
Right.
And that's what I have in that place. So sorry, I'm emotional.
No, you're fine. It's okay. It's okay. Do what you got to do. I invited into this space. I invited into this space. I invited into this space. Do what you need to do. Get it out. Get it out. I invited. Get it out.
Because I've been struggling for a long with this thing, and now that I'm not struggling no more, it feels so good. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know, I've been like you talked about relationships in the previous post of yours, and how we need to talk about those things. And trading can be a stress on a relationship. Mm-hmm. It can be a stress on your sex life. It can be a stress on your love life. It can be a stress on your paying bills. It can be a stress on a lot of stuff. Please start that conversation next time, because I'm be there.
Yes.
Anyway, this is gratitude tears. Y'all see everybody, so I don't care.
No, they're loving this. They're loving this.
I was like I said, I was struggling too hard, and but I wouldn't give up.
Right.
And it's not about making the money. I'm not worried about making the money. I'm worried about getting better at this skill that I've developed. That's all I wanted, to get better and better and better, and that money won't come. As a matter of fact, the money's sitting here waiting for us. And the better I get, the better we get, the more we'll be able to get, and the more we'll be able to give.
Yes. Yes.
Now, it's about priorities, and I need to hear that, because I'm hungry. I haven't had enough yet. I want to burp when I finish talking to you.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about priority, and then we'll leave it this way, because we're going to come back again. And I want to hear more from you guys. Hey, Big Brother O, encourage more people to come on and get this conversation going. You know?
Should be on here right now. I told her, and she always in Tennessee.
Yeah. So
more as I can. I don't have a big circle, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm expanding.
There you go.
Expanding. Ooh,
well, add me to your circle. Add me to your circle, because that's what this is about. Yeah, you guys, add more people when we do these, and encourage them to come on and just speak to us. Listen, I want Instagram allows us to have 4 people up in here, y'all. We need 2 more people in a later session. I can't do it now. I got another hour before I got a client today. But let's talk priority. When I speak to people who trade more than one thing, or like you said, Fibonacci, right? Support and resistance, and then the trend. I asked, how do you separate those things to bring them together? It's like a sandwich. A sandwich has a lot of ingredients: tomatoes, lettuce. It could have bacon, it could have ham, it could have turkey, right? But how do you know what goes first? Because you want it to taste good to you, right? How do you know what to take away if you don't like it? You have to taste it all. But when you really figure out what works for you, you say, well, here's what the market is doing, and here's how I can respond to it. You see what I mean? Yes. And then once you, like you said, it's about patience. So I'll give you a prime example. When I trade, I know exactly what to use and how to use it. So for example, I don't trade support and resistance, but I do trade supply and demand in the form of what I call estimation zones. I estimate where I want price to go, but I teach people how to plot it by asking 2 questions, right? So when my students come to me and say, Shaquan, I need help, I'm going to ask them, what is the trend first? Where don't we want price to go? And where do we need price to go? Because it's going to make them think, well, the trend is this, but if price does this, it's a reversal. But if I want to enter with the trend, I have to plot this here to enter the trade. You see what I mean? They've established their own positions without me. They didn't need me to do that, right? So then I say, well, use this technique and let it be. Don't use anything else. You don't need the indicator to confirm it. You don't need a trend line to confirm it. We just need one technique. Go make your money and be happy, right? But then if they say, well, Shaquan, I want multiple entries. Okay, because that's where Fibonacci for us comes in at. Okay, well, let's use Fibonacci, because if price is going in a downtrend and we trade past the lower low, we need an exit point. So we're going to use the Fibonacci for a specific thing to exit with an extended target. You see what I mean? So we're going to bring the original concept together and just add a tool without taking away from the technique. That is priority training, because you made a decision first where you wanted price to go. You still have this, nothing changed. You still have the mindset price can go this way. I got my original target. Now I have my extended target. I never compromised what I needed to do. You never compromise it. Now, this is how you compromise it. Let's say that you trade support and resistance with trend lines. I immediately ask people, okay, well, you have support and resistance and you have a trend line. What comes first? Now I'm going to ask you what support and resistance and what is a trend line, because I want you to tell me what it is, like how I asked you what support and resistance. Now you need to tell me what's a trend line to you and how does that work with support and resistance. But if you leave out trend, you don't know who's in control. So you cannot use a trend line correctly. You cannot trade support and resistance correctly because you forgot who's in control. It doesn't matter if you said you knew it, you never plotted it. It's chart art, right? Yes. So that is priority trading. You know what comes first without compromising the original piece. You see what I mean? Yes. So when you start to bring that together, and I'm going to give you something to do, and I pray that this has helped a lot of you on how to make your trading technique work for you. We're going to be doing more of these live lessons. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to choose 2 to 3 time frames. Okay. It can be because since you say you use between the monthly and the 4 hour, you can use monthly, weekly, and daily. Or because you said you like the 4 hour, you've not umped yourself up to use a daily. I would prefer you use weekly, daily, 4 hour. Here's why I'm asking you to do this. Number 1, you'll have more information on the weekly than the monthly. Okay. I want you to start with the weekly and tell me what's the trend, or tell yourself, because you're going to journal this, tell yourself what's the trend. Are you in an uptrend or a downtrend? And you guys have heard me say this plenty of times. You only need to name 2 highs and 2 lows. Are they higher highs and higher lows, or are they lower lows and lower highs? Find the pair. You're going to find the overall trend doing that. Do not move to the left. You don't have to go too far to the left. It's right there in your face. I promise y'all on any chart you go to. Don't go. What you say? What you say? Don't go to the left. Nope. Don't go to the left.
Okay, come on. I'm typing in what you can do.
Okay. What you're gonna do is find your trend first, and since you're using support and resistance, then plot your support and resistance. And remember, you guys, support and resistance is an interchange of buyers and sellers at specific exchange rates. But once you find the trend, it becomes easier. And y'all know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a support and resistance class with y'all on Zoom. Would y'all like that if I actually got on the charts with y'all or did a presentation? Would you guys like that? Okay.
Yes.
I'll do that. And what I'll do is, you guys, I'll do it for free. Since for me, I don't teach my group support and resistance. I don't teach them that. I teach them something better. Okay. But for y'all who trade it, I'll do a Zoom. I have a Zoom link. I'll teach y'all that for free. Okay. So make sure TradingView, YouTube, and y'all here on Instagram, go to my website, www.slfxtrading.com. Make sure you go to the menu and hit subscribe. So when I send out the information to sign up to Zoom, you guys have it. Okay. Y'all will have it. All right. So next, what I want you to do is when you get to the weekly time frame, you're going to plot your levels. Your daily time frame, what you're going to do, you're going to look at the daily trend. You're going to break it down. It's going to tell you the same thing, but you have more information. You're basically breaking down each weekly fluctuation. It's more candles. You're breaking down that trend to show you the same exact thing. But because you have the overall trend, the flow is the same. You just see more information. If you need to plot more levels, plot it. But I want everyone listen to what I'm about to say with support and resistance. Okay. And I need everyone to write this down. Brother O, I want you to look at me as I say this. Look at me when I say this. Okay? Look at me when I say this. If price is trading here, this is where the price line is. Any level above is resistance. You need 2 resistance levels. Don't do any more than that. Any level below the price line where price is trading is your support. You'll see why I say that when we get into another call. Okay? When I go over this with y'all, you're going to see why I say that. Do not name them each support and resistance because they are not. This is going to have everything to do with your trend. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is enter the trade on the 4-hour. Okay. We're going to enter the trade on 4-hour. But the reason why I'm telling you to do this, and I'm going to give you one more tip to do, your weekly information, when you plot your trend or your levels or however you do it, make that a different color than your daily. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm about to challenge you to go harder. Every weekly level you have, enter it on the daily. Every daily level you have, enter it on the 4-hour. There's a reason why I'm saying that.
May I type that down?
You can do everything you like. Yes.
Okay.
You can do everything you like. Okay. You're welcome. As he's typing that, I'm gonna read some comments. Someone asked how to become my student. DM me on Instagram. Or y'all can send me a message through my website. Okay. If you're here on Instagram and you want to know as well, DM me, let's have a chat. Okay. DM me and let's chat. Let's see how we can work together, because I don't teach everybody. I want everyone to hear me well on that. I teach swing traders. I teach people who want to hold trades, and I teach people who want to become independent traders. If you are a extreme scalper or day trader, I do not drop down in time frames. I do not go below the daily. I need you to hear me with that now. That doesn't mean I can't teach you on lower time frames. I just don't go on lower time frames. There's a difference. Okay. Everything I teach is universal. It works on every time frame. You just need to know how to group the time frames together to make it work for you. And when you learn it, it's beautiful. Okay. So I'm challenging you with that, Brother O. I want you to do that. Ms. Lynn asks, what do you teach that's better than support and resistance? The fibs? No, it's called my estimation zones. Y'all have seen me put them on my price charts time and time again. And like Brother O, I'm a stickler. If price is not at my zones, we don't enter the trade. We have patience. But trend tells us everything we need to know. And with that patience, what we learn to do is keep money in our pockets versus give it away. I'm not interested in taking a trade every day if I don't have to. I'm interested in taking quality trades. There's a difference. When you want to, yeah, he said, thank you. There's a difference. We take quality trades. We don't take every trade. We take quality trades. like, I think on our watch list, we only have 3 or 4 currency pairs we're looking at out of the 12 we looked at. 3 or 4 that we want to trade because everything has reversed. And so we're on our hands. We're on our hands. And that, I'm telling you, that trading is a lot deeper than a level. It's a lot deeper than what people think. And we're going to break it down. Okay. Now, when I do have the support and resistance class, I want you guys to understand something. I would not teach on trend. I cannot teach on trend because a lot of times when you trade support and resistance, you don't see it anyway. But I'll teach y'all what to look at. Okay. I'll teach y'all what to look at. I'll teach y'all the important stuff. All right. But you guys, I have to go. I gotta go eat lunch before my session. But yeah, I really do pray that this helped y'all. And if you guys would like to join us when we have these conversations, I am thinking about moving these to Zoom so I can see more people. People can sign up. And I can kind of see more of you guys because I love teaching this way. I like being personal. I love that y'all encourage Brother O. Brother O, I love your emotional side. Thank you, because more men need that. More men need to see that. It's okay to do what you just did. It's okay, man, to be vulnerable. It's okay to say, I don't have it all together. And men, it is okay to let a woman help you because we're nurturers. Let us nurture you. It's okay.
With that, women are the queens, the everything first and foremost. And y'all are the ones who guide us. And gentlemen out here, kings out here, remember, your queen makes you a king. We don't make them queens. They already queens. They make us kings. So open your ears, open your eyes, open everything. Be willing to listen to all your queen got to say. Yeah. Don't think she's trying to run you, because she ain't.
You want to hear something funny? This is no lie. I teach trend as a married couple.
Come on, man.
I teach trend as husband and wife. I do. I teach it that way. Because
gratitude.
Yeah, listen, y'all. When prices, there's a lot of y'all subscribing. Thank y'all. When prices in a downtrend, the husband and wife go down together. When prices in an uptrend, that it takes the wife to exalt the husband higher. She has to esteem him higher. She has to. So I want all y'all to remember that. I want all y'all to remember that, okay? If y'all have questions, y'all DM me, inbox me, email me. Let me know what y'all need. If y'all like these type of conversations, let me know. DM me, what should we talk about? But when hear me well, adults, when I start talking about sex and money and more education and more personal side, y'all need to be there. Because we don't get to let loose in trading. We have to let loose now. It's time to stop being behind the scenes. It's time to stop doing that. Okay? We have to open up. A lot of us are suffering behind the scenes. And if y'all need something, we need to build a community to give. And I like what you said. It's not about money. Money comes and goes. But what is this like and this like when you're done? What is it like? Are you suffering behind the scenes because you're afraid to open your mouth? Are you broke and struggling and one of us can give you money to help you if we know you really need it? What's the point in trading if you don't have a support system? Now, we ain't just about to be out here giving money willy-nilly now, okay? But if we build a relationship with you and you establish one with us and we know you personally because you speak to us, you talk to us, I have no issues with giving. But I got to know you need it. I got to know who you are. I've sponsored people before. I want y'all to hear me well with that. I have people in my group who will sponsor other people. But we have to know you. We got to know you. This is what makes us different, okay? This is a new culture we're leading here. It's not about a course. It's not about making the most money. Money don't make you happy. I promise you it don't. I make money. It don't make it. I still got issues. I'm not afraid to admit it. Not afraid to admit it. Okay? Brother O, I love your journey. I will be honored to help you learn to start teaching people as well. You want to coach? I'll teach you how to coach.
Gratitude.
Okay?
Yes.
Yeah. As I build and give, each and every last one of y'all should start building and giving too. Okay? Each of y'all, don't wait until you're making money. Do not wait until you feel you're ready. It starts as you're learning. You learn, you grow. You learn, you grow. And when you grow, because listen, I pay a business coach big money to teach me. And she says when you learn how to solve one problem, there's another one right behind it. So once you've learned to grow from that problem, go teach it, and then go help solve your problem. But get someone to help you solve it as you level up. You don't know everything. Okay? Brother, DM me later. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a conversation. I got something for you. I got something special for you, okay? Got something special for you.
Dude, I mean it. Oh, man, you got me over here with happy tears.
The reason why I have something for you, this is your second time you've come on here and you've been bold to speak. And I'm going to bless you with something. I'm going to bless you with the free one-on-one with me. I'm going to bless you with a free one-on-one with me. Because you were bold enough to come on here and speak. So I'm going to bless you. Y'all, everything ain't about money.
Everything I have been telling myself to do, and I'm doing it, and my things I've asked for are coming to fruition.
Yeah.
They come. Oh my God, the law of attraction is real, y'all. If y'all don't know anything about it, please look at The Secret on Netflix. Called The Law of Attraction. Man, that thing is real. Get with me, y'all. I had neuropathy, all kinds of stuff. Looked at that thing. I ain't got nothing when it comes to that.
Yeah.
No pain.
Yeah.
Please look at that. You would apply that to pain. You apply it to anything you want. It's working.
I agree.
I said I need a coach. I said I need this, and I'm gonna get one. Here it is. I haven't did nothing but put myself out there to go get this. It's there for us, y'all.
Yeah.
Stop closed mouth. I open my. What happened? Closed mouths don't get fed.
Agreed. Y'all, you gotta manifest it. When y'all manifest and y'all put, everyone here needs to read a book called The Science of Getting Rich. My friend Full Auto 11, who's a stock trader and investor, he mentioned that book over a year ago. I took action. I got it, changed my mindset. I make more money than any job has ever paid me because I took action and I thought different and I began to speak. Why do you think I made you repeat everything that you said to me? You got to speak. There you go. You have to hear it as you speak and say, oh, never mind. Oh, I didn't know that. Now you know because you spoke it. Everything you speak ain't always bad. You got to speak. You have to. I make all my students speak. Do not be quiet. Speak it. Type it. Do what you got to do. Get it out of you. Get it out of you. Okay, but I'm about to go for real. Okay. I love you guys. Brother O, you're welcome. Brother O, DM me. We'll get some time to meet sometime this week or next week for an hour. I'll sit down and I'll talk to you. So yeah, just come with some questions that you may have. Come with one major problem. I'm going to help you solve it. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right,
Queen, please continue doing what you're doing.
I will.
Do nothing but make everybody else better.
Yes, sir. That's the goal. And it's not about me. It's about you guys. I don't make trading about me. I make it about everybody else. God will supply my needs as I help other people. I'm a firm believer in that. Everything we do is a biblical principle, and we have to stick to those biblical principles. Yes, sir. You are a quiet person. I agree. Matter of fact, we about to get into our session soon. That's my student, y'all. So I love y'all. I'm about to go. Y'all take your time and be easy today. Take your time in the market this week, because I'm going to ask you some questions about your trades. Okay. And then, okay. All right. Well, yeah, clear your mind if you prefer to. Clear your mind, King. Okay. All right. I love you guys. Everybody, you guys be blessed.
Peace.
Peace.